I
Thank you.
now want to bring into this conversation Vikas Singh, former Additional Solicitor General of India, also senior advocate in the Supreme Court. Sir, welcome. Does this show the higher judiciary in poor light, in your view, the action taken so far or the lack of it?
So according to me, it's a very, very difficult time for the higher judiciary today. This kind of an allegation is, really damaging the credibility of the institution, which is the higher judiciary. And it is definitely a moment for all of us to introspect. And when I say all of us, I include myself, being, been the president of the bar for 3
Yes.
terms. And I feel that I owe something to the institution to see that things move in the right direction. And as far as this judge is concerned, I'm sure very soon he will be handed over to the law enforcement agencies. It's a matter of couple of days where the Chief Justice will do his preliminary inquiry. This preliminary inquiry is not a shield for the judge. It's basically some kind of a check that a frivolous case should not reach into the law enforcement agencies. It's not meant to be a cover-up by any standard. At least I feel in the term of the present Chief Justice, this cover-up should not happen. I'm a little surprised that how the collegium agreed to transfer him from a small Allahabad High Court to a very important Delhi High Court, and whichever collegium was responsible for that should be made answerable.
Okay.
This is actually a very, very serious issue. And also, this is high time that we try to weed out all the black sheep in the system, and set a very strong example of him, and see that all those people who are peddling with justice are taken to task, including the judges who are involved in the peddling.
Sir, since you mentioned that his coming from Allahabad High Court to Delhi should be looked into, Anil Tiwari, president of the Allahabad High Court Bar Association, and he'll be joining us in a bit. He said in a letter that if 15 lakh rupees are found at the house of any common person, he'd be sent to jail. But cash X amount, I'm just going with X amount because we don't have on authority how much cash was recovered or found at the judge's house. He's being given ghar vapsi. Is Allahabad High Court a dustbin? Sir, you think this criticism is justified?
100% justified. And I personally feel that transfer is never a solution or a way forward in a matter like this. The only thing that should happen after that, whatever brief inquiry the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court is doing, should be to, stop all judicial work being given to him. And there is a precedent for that. If you remember, when the Bombay High Court had faced a similar controversy of 4 senior judges being alleged to be involved in corruption, they were all not given any judicial work, and the Bar Association passed a resolution and they were all made to resign. So I think this is high time that this action is taken of withdrawing judicial work from him and then asking him to resign. And if he doesn't resign, then continue to withdraw judicial work from him and start the impeachment process. And I hope the political dispensation also, or the political class, so to say, because that's something which is entirely in their domain, take the impeachment process forward and to its logical end, because unfortunately there has never been any impeachment in this country, in spite of serious allegations being made earlier as well.
But it's such a long-winded process, sir, given the fact that judges have to be insulated. But in cases of corruption, can that process and should that process be made much smaller, or can can the collegium recommend any action? Can that be done in this case, for example? Because the question that I want to know, the CJI-led collegium, they're doing the right thing. First, get to know facts from Chief Justice Upadhyay of the Delhi High Court, and then decide what action is to be taken or what next course of action has to be recommended, sir?
So this report probably from the Chief Justice should come by tomorrow. And I think by Monday, the collegium should meet and take a final call of what should happen. And the moment the collegium takes a call that he has to face the law, then the criminal justice system will kick in. So there is no question of stopping that. That will not. That will start the moment this clearance is given by the collegium. And as far as the impeachment is concerned, that is a long drawn process that may take time, may happen, may not happen. But the kind of pressure that the civil society can, create in this matter, or even the bar association can create in this matter, it could compel the learned judge to resign and face his, save his face from any further criticism. But all that will happen or unfold in the next couple of days. Let's see how things
What is the maximum that the Chief Justice of India led collegium can do once they've ascertained facts, once facts are known to them? What are their options? What's maximum they can do? Just recommend a CBI inquiry or stop any cases going to him? Or is there something more that they can do?
So constitutionally, this stopping judicial work is not something which is there spelt out in the constitution. But assigning judicial work is the job of the Chief Justice of the respective High Court. And the collegium can always request the Chief Justice of the High Court to not give any work to a particular judge. And that has happened in the past. And that is something which is normally accepted. And asking the law to, take its usual course by starting the CBI investigation, permitting the ED to get in, and asking them to look into all the transactions that he must have done with regard to the money trail, etc. All that can start immediately. And for that, the impeachment need not wait. So I personally feel that the law can be and should be set in motion if there is a case of corruption, or if there is a case of prima facie case of corruption or wrongdoing. And also, this is also a time to introspect on the collegium system itself. If such a judge can be transferred from Allahabad to Delhi, or if judges are getting appointed without a proper credibility and an integrity check, I feel even the merit is not being considered properly when the collegium is appointing judges. So this is high time that they reinvented the collegium system and made it more transparent. And also, they reach out to find out the right names rather than lobbying to become judges.
Okay.
This lobbying to become judges, according to me, is a very, very dangerous precedent. And the person who lobbies to become a judge should be disqualified on that basis alone. And that is how they can reinvent themselves and, set in a procedure for selecting people to the higher judiciary. And
That's a
also
very pertinent point.
weed out all the, elements who are tainted, so to say, because we all know tainted names, in the bar. And they can easily be identified. There are peddlers of justice amongst the corridors of power, and they can easily take you. If they are taken up and arrested, they can always take you to the judge who is also involved in peddling of justice. And this also should happen in this.
Should it then go back to the government to appoint judges through a process where at least, the government appoints judges, or will that mean government interference in judiciary and the debate comes back all over again?
So I'm not in favor of government appointing the judges, but I'm definitely in favor of the government having a say, at least in the in either having a secretariat or in suggesting names or in deciding the eligibility for becoming a judge. I'll give you an example. So a person is appointed a judge whose income is less than what a judge is getting as salary. Now that's something which is completely unacceptable. Why should anybody be appointed if he's getting less? So there should be clear-cut, eligibilities which somebody should meet, and only those people who meet that eligibility should be considered for elevation. And in the process, if government also is able to recommend some names or have a permanent secretariat to go through those names, look into the credibility part. In any case, when the matter goes to the IB, they look at the credibility part.
Absolutely, yes.
So that can be done even earlier. I don't understand why can't they be associated at the earlier stage. But once the names are finally shortlisted, then let the collegium decide. But what is happening today, that the names that are being shortlisted are very few of people whom the collegium judges know, rather than the best names which are available in the system.
Mr. Vikas Singh, for joining me here on India Today. As always, many thanks, sir.